the coming down the first part that we came to come.
The roots?
What?
The roots?
And all that whole part coming up.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Just make sure you're in first gear. If I get there and you guys are in second gear, any hill climb, down, shift down, down, down. You got to be all the way into first gear. It's fine to shift up into second and third, but I don't want you hitting any hill climb on the way back in anything other than first gear. These little bikes have to be in first gear. Okay?
Okay. What gear are you in coming up that?
First.
One thing I talk about with the boys quite a bit when we go out on these rides is I want there to be something on every ride where it pushes us just a little bit. I don't want the whole ride to be, just gnarly for them, where it's getting them out of their comfort zones, but I tell them that I'm purposely trying to have there be something on the rides where we do get out of our comfort zone for a little bit, because that's how we grow as riders. The trail right here, they could ride on this trail all day long because it's not, there's nothing super technical. And then every once in a while, you'll get some of these little rocky sections that'll pop up. And it's almost like the perfect trail for them because you can't lull yourself to sleep because there are all these little sections that pop up where you got to have good wheel placement and be standing up on the pegs to get through. And then we're going to hit a section on the way back towards the end of this section of trail where it's going to be a challenge going up the hill. There's going to be lots of rocks and no real great defined line, especially not for the small wheels. And they're going to stop. You'll see in the video that Case will be in the lead there, and he's going to kind of get out of shape and kind of climb up to the left. Konnor will go around him to the right, but then kind of peter out in a cloud of dust. And then what I'll do there is I'll take the opportunity to just talk to them about another technique. I always want them to kind of float through obstacles, up on the pegs like they're doing right now. But there are times where you'll get knocked off your butt, knocked down, and you have to put your feet down and you get all your momentum taken away. And now what? As your riding progresses, you'll be able to just stand up real quick and go. Well, they're not at that point yet where they can go in a nasty section and just stand up. So I'm going to teach them this technique that I call paddling through a section. And we've all had to do it, and it's a good skill to have. This is where they're going to learn clutch control while they're kind of walking the bike and paddling along and just keeping the bike running. This is something that we'll all have to use eventually. And so I figured this is a good opportunity to kind of give them an introduction into paddling through a nasty section, which we'll see in just a moment here.
Okay, hold on. Let me talk to you guys about something. Okay. So most of the time I do want you guys to be standing up on the pegs. I got it. But here's one situation where I'll allow it where you're sitting down. So right now ideally you would just stand up through this whole section, right? And eventually you're going to get there. But this section is actually really technical, especially for you guys, okay? So it's going to be maybe a little bit above, because it's so long, right? So it's maybe going to be a little bit above your ability to stay up on the pegs the whole time. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to sit and we're going to kind of, hey, Konnor, look at me. You're going to sit, and through this nasty part, you're just going to kind of walk the bike through it. Feathering the clutch and walking the bike through it. Kind of like this. Up until you can get a spot where you get a little more head of steam. See, the problem is you don't have enough area to get comfortable and get stood up on the bike. that will come, and I'll do that. I'm gonna start right here and go and stand up and just float through it on the pegs, but I've got more experience. So you guys are gonna need to probably sit down and do what I call paddling, okay? It's walking or paddling. It's where you're going like this, you know, through the stuff, because your bikes are hard to stay running and it's a nasty section, okay? So we're gonna practice that technique, and you were in second gear, dude. Okay, so we're gonna be in first, and we're gonna do it. Okay? Paddle through it. Okay. You might not be in first gear. First gear. Okay. Just give it more gas. Hey, great job. You okay?
Yeah.
Hey, let's just take a chill right here while I come up and help you for a second. So you guys just went through that. You are now through the nastiest part. So you guys opted to go around the roots, which is totally fine. But I just wanted to tell you guys,